Hey, it's Terry Gorry, and this is the Irish Law and Small Business podcast. There's an interesting personal injuries case there reported in the newspaper today, and indeed reported elsewhere. It's to do with a girl who fell from a horse at an equestrian centre, an equestrian riding centre. She settled her case against the equestrian centre for €145,000. There's a couple of interesting features about the case. One is that she fell from her own horse, and her own horse arguably wasn't suitable because her own horse was a pony of 3 years of age, and we'll have a look and see what her own senior counsel was going to argue, but they were going to give expert advice that any pony or horse under the age of 5 wouldn't be suitable for a lesson. So obviously the young girl, I think she was 10 years of age at the time, went along on her own pony, and ultimately they sued the equestrian centre for the fall that occurred, and argued that the equestrian centre should have prevented her from participating with a young horse like that. The girl sued. She fell off her mare. She said that it was spooked by another horse during a lesson. She was aged 10, and a 3-year-old mare was called Molly. She dislocated her elbow during a riding lesson at an equestrian centre. The settlement was made without admission of liability, and the payout is €145,000. The girl's counsel was told the court that experts on their side would claim a horse used for lesson purposes should not be less than 5 years old. The girl, she's 16 now, she had sued through her mother, and she had sued the equestrian centre. She attended the lesson at the centre in October 2017. She was riding a pony that she had recently purchased. She alleged that she had been allowed to partake in the lesson while riding a pony, her own pony, whose condition and temperament had not been assessed by the equestrian centre. Her pony was not of sufficient maturity to partake in a class setting, she claimed. It was claimed that in participating in the lesson, the girl relied on the expertise of the equestrian centre in the riding and management of horses. That's where the question of negligence arises. It was also claimed that during the course of the lesson, another class participant rode up close to Molly, which caused her to become spooked and to gallop off. The young girl then fell off despite her best efforts to remain on the pony, and she dislocated her elbow. The equestrian centre denied the claims, and they also denied the narrative account of the incident as put forward by the girl's legal team and the girl's side. The equestrian centre also contended that the occurrence of the incident was unforeseeable. It claimed that despite the exercise of all reasonable care, falls are an accepted and inherent risk in the sport of horse and pony riding, and it cannot predict, prevent, anticipate or foresee ponies becoming spooked and falls occurring while riding. The girl's elbow was treated conservatively. She later had to have surgery. She had returned to horse riding 2 or 3 times a week, but her right arm is not entirely straight, and Mr. Justice Tony O'Connor approved the settlement. He had to approve the settlement because the girl was 10 when the accident occurred. She's 16 now, she's still a minor, so the settlement had to be approved. €145,000. I don't know how you feel about that, given the circumstances of this particular case. Clearly, the equestrian centre wouldn't have settled the case if they weren't afraid of a certain element of risk. They may well have defended the case successfully if it went to a full hearing. Who knows how the judge would have assessed liability. There may well have been an amount of contributory negligence attributed to the girl if she was successful at a full hearing. I don't know, I'm speculating. The bottom line is it didn't go to a full hearing. It was settled, and €145,000 has been awarded to the girl against the riding centre. I'm not sure what the situation is in relation to costs. I presume she's having her costs taken care of by the Equestrian Centre as well, but I don't know that, because the article I'm reading online on the Irish Times is silent on that question. And maybe the judge hasn't decided yet in any case. Interesting case. If you find it useful, if you find this video useful rather, I would appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below, and you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.